In our last section, we just wrote our new toggle cart hidden mutation on our client side. So what we need to do now is replace any use of the cart hidden toggling from our Redux actions, as well as any components that are listening for the hidden value on our cart reducer. We want to replace it now with our use of Apollo's client-side state management. So what we'll do is we'll actually modify our header component so that it doesn't use the select cart hidden selector that we have. So let's just remove that from our map state to props. But we won't remove our map state to props yet, of course, because we have not modified our select current user and current user reducer storage. So we don't want our application to break. Now we're going to make a new header.container.jsx, and we'll import all those things that we're used to importing now for our GraphQL containers. Let's import in React from React. We need to import in our query component from React Apollo. We also need to import in GQL from Apollo Boost. And then finally, we need to import in our header component. Now, the actual definition for our header container is just going to be querying for that cart hidden. And our cart hidden query is actually the same one that we have here. So we can just actually copy this over and use it as the query value for our query. Now, we can easily put these in a different file and pull them in, but it's easier, I find, to be able to visually see what it is that we're actually using as our GraphQL query. So we're going to set our new const as our header container, which is going to be equal to this functional component that returns back the query, where the query goes to get cart hidden. And because, again, of this client directive, we're looking for cart hidden on our local cache. It's not going to go to the backend to try and find some cart hidden value inside of our database. Now, in the function, we'll get back our data. And off that data, we're going to get our cart hidden value. And what we want to do is return the header component where hidden goes to cart hidden. So now our header component is receiving the hidden value from our new query. So let's export out our header container, and let's replace our use of it inside of our app.js with our new header. So default as header from header container. So now, hopefully nothing is broken. Our code still works. We need to now modify our click to fire our new mutation. So how we do that is we're going to modify the cart icon component to use our new toggle cart hidden mutation instead of our Redux action. So let's just get rid of this one, remove it from the map dispatch. And again, we still have to keep the map state to props because we haven't done the item count yet either. But what we're going to do is we are now going to use our mutation inside of the cart icon container.jsx. So the mutation is similar to the query in the sense that instead of getting a query component, we are going to use a mutation component that we get from React Apollo. So let's import React from React. And let's import in that new mutation component from React Apollo. Now, this mutation component is going to behave almost identically to the query component, in the sense that instead of passing a query to it, we're just going to pass a mutation query, right? Our mutation GQL string. So let's see what that looks like. So we're going to import in cart icon from cart icon component, and then we're going to write out our new toggle cart hidden value. Now, the way that this thing is going to look is that we are going to write it the same way, toggle cart hidden, right? As we did when we wrote our queries, except we're going to set it equal to this GQL where we're calling the mutation that we have defined in our type defs, which is a capital toggle cart hidden. And then what we're going to get back is the toggle cart hidden mutation that we wrote inside of our resolver. So if you remember here, the actual resolver, let's just close all these, has it as lowercase. So that's what we're going to pass through into here. And we're going to get this from the client. Now, finally, we're just going to define the actual container. Cart icon container is equal to this functional component that returns us our mutation component, receiving our mutation query, toggle cart hidden. And how we receive it is going to be just inside of a function, but we don't have to pull it off because all we're getting is the mutation. So if we just call it toggle cart hidden here, right, we can name it whatever we want, but this is pretty much what we're getting as the parameter from this function. So here we are going to pass this into cart icon as the toggle cart hidden value. And then we're going to export out our cart icon container as the default. And then we're just going to replace it in our header component. And now, where we had cart icon, we are going to switch it out for our container using our default as pattern. And now if we save, we should see that it should work now. So that's it. There we go. We've pretty much managed to get our code working using the new pattern that we have. So every time we fire off our mutation will update our actual value, right? The one that we've set right here inside of our initial write data. Then whenever that value updates, all of our containers will refresh because they're listening for that value, right? Anything that's pulled that cart hidden value into their components will end up re-rendering. So that's really good because it pretty much mimics the Redux flow that we're used to, where whenever we update the state will then update anything that is subscribed to it using a selector. So in a similar way, we've pretty much managed to mimic what Redux solves in its local state management with our new resolver pattern. Albeit it is more verbose to write, this is the way that Apollo does it. So hopefully that made more sense once we saw it in action. We'll definitely get more practice with writing more mutations. And what we're going to do next is we are going to update our add item feature that we were using Redux for into our new client-side Apollo local state management. So we'll do that in the next lesson.